So after 3 videos about naming polyatomic ions, we're finally ready to get back to naming our chemical compounds. We've already done molecular, and what we're trying to do right now is ionic. How do we name ionic compounds? Well, it's really straightforward. You just put together the cation name plus the anion name. So what do I mean? Let's say you wanted to combine 2 ions. Sodium ion with the chloride ion to give you the chemical compound NaCl. Well, cations, when they're just on the periodic table, just regular old cations. So this one's sodium right here, gets a positive 1 charge. Chloride comes from over here, or chlorine, the element chlorine comes from over here. It's in the 17th column. Remember, things in the 17th column get a -1, -2, -3. If you don't remember that, go back and watch the ion charges video. So when it becomes a -1 charge, we call it ide. So this, cations, we just give them their name. Anions, if they're a single element, we just change the ending to IDE. So this one, instead of chlorine, we call it chloride. This chemical then, you just put the 2 names together. Sodium chloride. That's it. So to review, cations are, if they're a single element, just get their name. Anions, if they're a single element, get changed to IDE. Get their ending changed to IDE, and you just put the names together like that. But what if it's a polyatomic ion? What if you were combining something like sodium with sulfate? So you've got a sodium ion, you wanted to put it together with sulfate. Well, don't forget how you put ionic compounds together. That's a positive 1 charge, a -2 charge. So you need to put 2 sodium ions together with the sulfate. You'll get 2 sodium ions together with the sulfate. But the naming doesn't change. Those things are still called sodium. This thing is still called sulfate. So we just call this sodium sulfate. Just put the 2 names together. Take the cation name, whatever it's called, the anion name, put it together. Let's try another one. We'll try aluminum sulfate. So aluminum, or maybe we'll do this one. We'll take aluminum, which is a 3+ ion, put it together with this ion. Okay, so that's not sulfate, right? That's 3 oxygens instead of 4 oxygens. So to name that, we could put the compound together first. We're going to need 2 aluminums and 3 sulfites to get 6 positives, 6 negatives. It'll be Al2SO3. So, but to name that, we just call this aluminum still. That one is not called sulfate. If we go back to our sheet, we see that when you have 1 less oxygen, your ending is ite. So instead of sulfate, it's sulfite. Then to actually name it, you just put the 2 names together. Aluminum sulfite. That's it. So you see, the hard part is actually knowing the name of the polyatomic ion, which is why we spent the last few videos doing that. When you want to construct the ionic compound name, if you can name the 2 ions, you just put them together. You don't use any Greek prefixes. You just take the cation name and stick it next to the anion name. That's it.